One of my sayings is life has a middle name. It's called change.
I am doing PR. Doesn't mean I went to school to do PR, but because of Toastmasters, the environment that they give us to learn by doing programs, the
Yeah.
training, the support that we have, you are able to venture into different areas and discover passions that you didn't know existed within you.
Well, dear listeners, welcome to another episode of Toast Talks with Coach Wusi. Today, I have the pleasure, the honor, the privilege of having another fellow Toastmaster who I have had the pleasure of engaging with in a few of the Toastmaster streets. Her name is DTM, Liza Zindoga. She is one of the recently appointed distinguished Toastmasters. DTM Liza, welcome to Toast Talks with Coach Busi. How are you, ma'am?
Hi, Coach Busi. I am well excited. I am honored to be here with you, connecting with you and your audience. This is an amazing program that I'm on, and I always love to share my story. So I am happy.
Amazing. Just like a typical Toastmaster, you've told us a bit about yourself. Let us ask you a very direct question, something that we love hearing. How did you become a Toastmaster?
Well, my story is a funny one. I was turning 40, and I say to myself, what can I do for myself, for my personal growth? And I
Mm,
thought I needed to get myself out of this fear of public speaking. And I've been always scared to present in front of groups, even at church, when I'm asked to pray. It's just not that I don't know how to pray. It's just that
mm,
the people around me, how are they judging me? What are they thinking? So because of that, I've always been, I was afraid to say whatever it is that I feel in public. And I thought, what can I do to get myself out of
mm,
this hole I'm in? And a friend of mine suggested Toastmasters. He said, look for these people. They should be able to help you. You've got big plans. You've got a business you're running. And you're telling me of your goals, and you want to officially open something someday.
mhm.
And the only best way to be able to be ready for the success that you're building up to is to join Toastmasters and groom yourself to become a better communicator, a more confident leader, and obviously, yes, a better leader. So this is how I got started in 2019 in June, my birthday month.
Wow. That is a really interesting story. I have another question. This person who said look for Toastmasters, are they a Toastmaster themselves and are they still in the organization?
Funny enough, they're not yet a Toastmaster. They heard about Toastmasters. So after you questioning me like this, I'm going to call them and say, why don't you start your Toastmasters journey? Because look at me, you got me started on this journey and I'm loving it. I feel it's something that you also need to get on.
Absolutely. I had a feeling from the way you said this person. I was thinking, now, if it was a Toastmaster, the way we are so good about shouting out the names of those who have helped us, I had a feeling that they probably were not a Toastmaster. But isn't that ironic that the person who has been instrumental to so much of the growth that we see in you has not started their own journey? Amazing.
It
Amazing.
is, yeah.
GTM Liza, the group that you joined, your first club, is that the club you're still a member of?
Yes, it is. Hey, I joined Evolving Ladies Toastmasters Club.
Shout
Why did
out
I
to
join Evolving Ladies?
Evolving Ladies. Shout out
Yeah,
Evolving Ladies Toastmasters Club. Yes, ma'am.
the
Why
best
did you
club in
join?
Southern Africa. Hey? It's the best club to be. I know you beg to differ, but for me, it is home for me, and I'm happy. Why
That's
did I
good.
join Working Ladies? They met at the ideal time for me. During the week, the breakfast club, us ladies, how we love to, spend our money and connect during breakfast. And sometimes when everything is all right, we even toast with champagne. So the first meeting when I
Ooh,
went there, I was taken, and the ladies were lovely, very supportive. And I felt if everybody in the world was like a Toastmaster, this world would be a very different place. This was the very
wow.
first sentiment I got from the meeting that I had the first time. The support that I see in this room, the love, the sharing, the encouragement that I feel in the room. If
Mm,
everybody was like this we would not even have world hunger. We would not even have even climate change because everybody is conscious about what's happening around them and
wow.
they care. So yeah,
Wow.
this was evolving ladies for me.
Today I'm not going to sing, but I keep saying if there's a theme song that reminds me of Toastmasters, a song that was sung way back about how I would like to build the world a home and furnish it with love. I love the song and I keep thinking I would like to build the world a home and just call it Toastmasters where all these good things happen. So thank you so much for sharing about evolving ladies. Now, you said you had to start looking. How did you get to identify evolving ladies? Did you go shopping? Did you visit other clubs before coming to evolving ladies? I'm curious because I know there's somebody out there who's thinking this sounds all very well, but what is the preludes to the story that we are watching? What happened before she actually ended up in this breakfast meeting? And it sounds like that one had champagne already. I stand to be
All
corrected.
right.
Maybe not, but
So
yeah.
I am an engineer by training and profession. That's what feeds my children. And
Awesome.
when I started looking for a Toastmasters club, I Googled the Toastmasters club in Zimbabwe and I saw an engineers Toastmasters club and it spoke to me because of my profession. But then
Mhm.
I then looked at the times that they met. I couldn't do evening meetings. I couldn't do Saturday meetings. Therefore, I then looked for a club that would meet during the week, during the day. And I found Evolving Ladies was that club. And also because it was a ladies club, even made it better. When you're afraid and you're among other your sisters, you feel it's easier to connect.
Yeah.
Therefore, I chose that one because of number one, the time, and the fact that it was a breakfast club.
Hmm.
It worked perfectly for me. I make my own time. I am not on a 7 to 8 to 5 job, so I can easily navigate during the weekend and make those meetings.
I
So
love
that's how
that.
I got
And
to.
there's an old adage that says, win in the morning, win all day long. So if you start with a Toastmasters meeting, the rest of your day is kind of set for success. So I love your processing. And from what you just shared, it's easy to use for anyone who's watching that there is a lot of information about Toastmasters clubs on the internet. You were looking for specific things. You needed one that was in the morning. You needed one that was ladies preferably. You needed one way which worked for you and you identified it and you found it. Isn't that a beautiful thing about Toastmasters? I am in the States, but I am part of the Southern African group because that's where I started my journey. It's so easy to be able to say, oh, this is the club that I want to visit today. Thank you for dropping that nugget in there. Now, in Toastmasters, we say if it's not fun, it's not Toastmasters. Tell me, in your 5 year journey, what is the most exciting, fun thing or moment that you can share with the dear listeners of Toast Talks with Coach Busi?
There's so many of them, but maybe just because we don't have time, I could just share
Hmm.
my first conference experience. That was the most fun time. And believe you me, the first conference experience I had was right here in Zimbabwe at the mighty Victoria Falls. That was,
Ooh.
I'd been to Victoria Falls when I was a student, with the school trips and all. But with this
Yeah.
with this conference, I had an opportunity to visit as an adult, do adult things at the conference.
Hmm.
We went to the Boma, that drum experience. That was
Yes.
something else, something I hadn't experienced. I've been a Zimbabwean for the past 45 years, but I had never been to the Boma. I had never
Oh,
been
wow.
even right across to Zambia to the fort,
Hmm.
watching the falls from the other side, right, being right there next to the Zambezi River, almost putting your feet in there and everything. It was amazing. I feel that was like the most exciting moment for me. If it hadn't been for Toastmasters, I probably wouldn't have, it's one of those things that you just don't plan to do because it's right next door, it's in your backyard,
Hmm.
and you never plan to do it. But because we are hosting people from Southern Africa, I had an opportunity to go there, be a host, and also be a tourist in my own country. So yeah, I think that would be one of the major highlights of my journey.
Amazing. Now, this is the second time I'm hearing about this particular Victoria Falls conference, in these talks. So it must have been something that was totally out of this world. And I'm glad that you bring it up. Toastmaster Streets, we meet so many people. We meet, and I say meet, a lot of it these days is virtually, but you get the
Yeah,
sense that you don't walk alone. You get the sense that there's this whole crowd, almost like a cloud of witnesses cheering you on, as my good book says. Who is the most amazing Toastmaster that you relate to, that you think this Toastmaster, if everybody could get audience with this one, their life would be in a different place? Give a shout out to that particular Toastmaster and tell us why you would call them your rock star Toastmaster.
that's a very difficult question because I've got quite a lot of them that I admire and I aspire to be. When you asked me the question, I had a few people coming to mind, and then
Hmm.
I then zeroed in to one distinguished Toastmaster. He is an amazing young man who does
Hmm.
things that I feel, as an able-bodied person, I fail to do. But he's um, visually impaired, and he's able to do so many things. He managed to achieve his GTM way before me, but
Hmm.
he he has so many things against him, and he doesn't even look at it. His name is GTM Tendai David Murangano.
Yes.
He, I love the way he just looks at life in a different light. He had this unfortunate incident happening to him, but he didn't let it stop him from doing whatever he needed to do. He,
Hmm.
he every day he's got something happening in his life. I'm also just for everybody's knowledge that I'm also a Rotarian. Therefore, we Rotarian Toastmasters have
Hmm.
an alliance that they have. Tendai also comes to our Rotary meetings. He's also part of community building initiatives,
Mm.
and he's visually impaired. He, I don't know, I'm failing to find words to actually explain how inspirational this young man is.
Right.
He's in his 20s, he's managed to do his MBA, he's managed to,
Hmm.
all well visually impaired. Even the
Hmm.
distinguished Toastmaster bit, the things that he can research for you, I don't even know how he does it. But I've got all my maybe six senses there working for me fine, and I can't do some of half of the things that he's able to do. Therefore, I believe I can then put him up there. I've got a lot of rock star Toastmasters around me, but I can put him up there, say this is a beacon of light for me, an inspiration when I think of when I fail to do something and I think of not doing
Hmm.
something, I think of him and say, look, how can I, with everything that I have going for me, fail to do a
Hmm.
simple task when somebody who's got things that are not working for him managed to do whatever he puts his mind to. So I believe it's almost still in your head. It's how determined you are, and how you want to achieve your goal. And tonight does that for me, reminds me that it's up to me. If it is to be, it is up to me. I think,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
I think that's what I can say.
Well, to distinguished Toastmaster Tendai, we absolutely celebrate you and the way your tenacity challenges, stretches, motivates people. And for today, you are the DTM who is being given a shout out for being a
Yeah.
rockstar Toastmaster. Yay,
Yeah.
DTM Tendai. I love doing this because in our clubs, the celebrating of heroes and people who do right is such an integral part of what makes Toastmasters fun for me. You do not walk alone. There's always somebody propelling you. I've had people come to me and say, "Oh, I have seen you emceeing at this club." And this is them just inboxing me. Would you love to talk to me? And I'm like, yes, I will talk to you. So it is no wonder that when I'm looking for the voices for Toast Talks with Coach Busi, I have no problems getting yes answers because that is the culture of Toastmasters. In your walk, DTM Liza, there have been highs, I am sure, and there have been lows. Give us a situation where things were not going as you would have liked and how you handled it and how it turned out at the end of it. Because I know not everything is a bed of roses, even in a very positive environment like Toastmasters. Please share with the listeners.
Okay. The one time I felt things were not working out for me is, I'm sure for everybody, when we switched from in-person meetings to online meetings because of COVID. I think for
Mm-hmm.
that time, I went for about 6 months without joining meetings. And I think it was a year after I joined, and only done the first level of my part. And now to continue, remember the online environment is something very new, and you're still fairly new in Toastmasters, you're still scared to the point that
Mm,
when I did start joining meetings after that long break, I would, during the table topic session, I would switch off my phone, act as if my network had dropped because I'm still scared. I'm not sure what's going on. I am trying to. I remember even my first speech. I think I gave it, and they could only see like the top part of my face because I didn't know how to position the camera. And so I think for
mm,
me, that period, that COVID period had different impacts on people. It impacted me in the fact that I couldn't continue with my journey. I was used to the in-person meetings and the connections that you have in person. Now switching and connecting to people online wasn't as easy. It wasn't. It Little did I know that this was opening up a whole world of connections.
come
I'm
on
talking to
now.
somebody in the States, and you could visit clubs all over the world at whatever time you want. You could just be on a plane and you're in India from your living room. So
Yeah.
this is the time, and I think change essentially is something that needs to be managed, and it's not everybody that easily can adopt to change. And it's something
Hmm.
that I also suffered from during that COVID period, and I'm glad I managed to go past it because
Yes.
I then found things to do during the lockdown period. I then found that no, life is not over because you can't go out of the yard. So yeah, I think that
So
was
true. So, so true. One of my sayings about change is life has a middle name. It's called change. That middle name, whether you use it every day, whether everybody knows it's there, whatever the case is, it's still there and is going to affect your life. Therefore, embrace it. You might as well. And isn't it amazing now? What role are you serving in District 129 right now?
I am the current public relations manager for District 129, and whoa, my sister, it is it is a ride.
It is a ride. Yes, it is. I am excited to hear that because look at that now. Had you shortchanged yourself and just said, until Toastmasters is back in person, I'm not engaging in this. And if you had thrown your toys around, it would be a whole different kettle of fish right now. But because it took you a minute, but you eventually embraced it, and now we have one of the most amazing public relations managers. Because Liza, you are totally a rock star Toastmaster for me. When you get onto something, you get people to rally behind you because you're likable. And you in this role, you are right where you should be, which is amazing considering your engineering background. I always
Imagine.
figure engineers to be very level people, very straightforward, but you have this flamboyant side to you, which is really amazing. As we wrap up, do let me know if you were to speak to one person, one member who is sitting on the fence and they're thinking, here go those Toastmasters again. What would you say to them?
All right. So for anybody that's thinking about joining Toastmasters and then they've not yet decided on what route to take, I would want to just encourage them to just step out of their comfort zone, because this is what Toastmasters is doing for us. It's giving me an opportunity to
Mm,
step outside your comfort zone. I'm very comfortable making things work from the background. I know how to make things work. But I needed to step out of that comfort zone and put myself out there. This new role that I'm taking, the PR manager role, it's really outside my comfort zone and it's stretching
mm,
me. So if you want something that stretches you and then takes out those passions that are hidden within you, I discovered that I have a passion for events planning when I was
mm,
sergeant at arms for Evolving Ladies. I really like putting events together. I didn't know that. I thought, I'm an
right.
engineer. Yes, I'm an engineer. I like to fix things. But
Yeah.
I actually like to put things together, put events together. This is a passion that I discovered from taking up a role in Toastmasters. I've also discovered that I don't have a limit on what I can do. I can try, I can
Mm,
do any role. I am doing PR. It doesn't mean I went to school to do PR, but because of Toastmasters, the environment that they give us, to learn by doing programs, the
yeah.
training, the support that we have, you are able to venture into different areas and discover passions that you didn't know existed within you, things that you enjoy doing that you otherwise thought, this is not me. But it was lying
Mm,
dormant. Toastmasters just needed to come in and waken it up, and then you're good to go. So this is what I want people to know, those that haven't decided, that if you take this program and you utilize it to the most, you sweat that dollar that you pay and do everything
mm-hmm.
that is supposed to be done, you will discover amazing things about yourself, amazing things about the world around you because of this journey. So for me, this is what it has done for me. It has opened me up to so many possibilities. I can do whatever it is that I feel like I want to do, and I know where to get the support. I know who to ask, and my network. Oh my word, my network. If you look at my phone, I've got over 10,000
Yes.
contacts. My daughter was saying, Mom, if you post a status on your WhatsApp, well, how do you get over 500 people looking at it in an hour? I'm like,
Right.
that's the power of networking. So therefore, if I want to sell anything, I know I've got people around me that will look at my product and call me and say, what's happening? Remember the day, Coach Busi, you sent me that quote? I put it on my status. Guess how many people I got interested in joining Toastmasters? In about 3 hours, I had about 5 people saying, how do I get started? I was thinking of getting started. This is
Oh,
how
wow.
effective I've become as a communicator because of the network that I've built around me. This only happened because I started this Toastmasters journey and I've managed to connect with people throughout the world. It's entirely up to me how I use the network that I have
Right.
available on my fingertips because of my journey as a Toastmaster. So it's actually a lot, but just in brief, because we don't have time, I can't tell you
Mm-hmm.
everything
Mm-hmm.
you can get from being a Toastmaster, but just those few points that I've given you, it should be enough for you to want to try it out and see what lies within you. What is it that you can take out using this Toastmasters journey?
Could not have said it better. Could not have said it better. Thank you so much for your time, for your yes, for your motivating the people who are watching, my dear listeners. I am so grateful. I love how you punctuated that. You get to discover yourself. We talk a lot about personal development, but you brought in an element of personal discovery as well, because you can develop that which you know, but once you discover yourself first, there is a whole new world that you can start looking at. So thank you so much for bringing that in. So dear listener, should you need more information, there will be details below. Go ahead and hit me up. And if it's in a time where I cannot respond, go ahead and go on the website. Go and look up on the Toastmaster website. If you want to be more effective, look up Toastmaster DTM Liza Zindoga. She will be found and she will answer you. She is on Facebook. She has all of those social media handles. Look for any of the guests who have come. One of them will respond. This is how confident I am about the resourcefulness and the effectiveness of the Toastmaster Network. Thank you, DTM Liza. Dear listeners, thank you so much for watching today. Bye, Liza. We'll see you in the next meeting.
Goodbye, everyone.